Welcome to another video. This time, we're talking about Orangetown, the second arc of the series. And just where we left off last time, they're in the boat. Oh, first off, as always, spoilers! So if you don't want to be spoiled, then don't watch the video. If you are prepared for the spoilers, then continue watching. So basically, what happened is they're lying in the boat hungry, Luffy and Zoro, and then Luffy sees a bird. He launches himself towards the bird, but the bird gets him in his mouth because the bird's huge, and let's just say Luffy didn't stay in the same place. The bird's flying forward, and Zoro's furiously rowing towards him, but can't catch up. In the meantime, he does find three of Buggy's workers. Buggy the Clown is a recurring character who will appear in this arc. So they hop on the boat, and they're like, "Give us your boat." But then when they realize it's Pirate Hunter Zoro, they're like, "Yeah, we'll row you toward it for sure." So they're following Luffy. And Luffy launches right into trouble. In the island of Orangetown. When a villager, Nami, well, not a villager, she's not from the island, but just a girl, Nami, uses Luffy as an excuse to run because she says Luffy's her boss. When she's stealing stuff, so she says to deal with him instead, with Buggy's workers, than dealing with him. But Luffy beats them up. Then she's like, yeah, you're strong. After literally setting him up for a fight he had no reason to be in. But yeah. She treats him to some food, and she's like, I'm a navigator. And he's like, join our crew. And she's like, okay. And then he's like, it's a pirate crew. And she's like, no. I hate pirates. And then she comes up with an idea. I'll let you join the crew on one condition. I tie you up and bring you to Buggy. Well, even I would have seen that one coming. Luffy, you're kind of dumb, but let's continue. I'm not going to comment on this image yet, but it'll make sense in a moment. So, Nami brings Luffy up to Buggy, and they put him in a cage. Luffy's like, why am I here? But the reason Nami put him in the cage and called him her boss was so she could get on the good side of Buggy and steal the map of the Grand Line, which I didn't mention Buggy had stolen in Shellstown in the last episode with the Marine HQ. But enough of that. In this episode, now Buggy decides for the celebrations, he wants Nami to light a cannon with a buggy ball inside, which will blow up Luffy. But she's like, no, that's kind of inhumane. But they don't get the picture, and one of them thinks she doesn't know how to light it. They light it for her, and she's like, uh-oh. But then once she realizes, oh no, I caused a death, she diffuses the fire with her hands. Sounds painful, but okay, we gotta move on. And as Buggy's workers realize, she wasn't trying to kill him, Zoro shows up and stabs them all and stuff. But then Buggy's there. Zoro runs through and chops Buggy to pieces. But no, this isn't the end. Buggy is also a devil fruit user, just like Luffy, but instead of the gum gum fruit, he has the chop chop fruit, where he can't be stabbed. Luffy can be stabbed, but is invincible to bullets. Buggy can be shot, but he can't be stabbed. So, basically, they're polar opposites, I guess, I should say. But anyway, Buggy cannot be chopped in half, and because his hand isn't connected to his body, he stabs Zoro through the back, giving him the wound you can see on the screen. Luffy gives Zoro some weird clues on what to do, and Zoro turns the cannon around and lights it so it explodes Buggy. Then Zoro heaves the cage over his shoulder, and they walk out. Zoro puts Luffy to rest on the ground with a dog. And then Nami decides, you know what, I'm gonna do my first good thing for this series and gives Luffy the key to the cage. But then the dog eats the key. As you can see in this scene, it's kinda awkward. But Luffy wasn't quite happy. And then the mayor comes along and he's like, stop choking the dog trying to get the key out of its mouth. And he's like, oh, and then he notices Zoro being wounded and he's like, go rest back there. And Zoro decides to sleep off his injury. While Zoro's asleep, one of Buggy's workers, Beast Tamer Moji, comes up and asks Luffy where Zoro is. Luffy refuses, and then Moji's like, just because you're in that cage you think you're safe? And then, good thing for Luffy, he breaks the cage. But bad thing for Luffy, he goes flying straight through a house. And for now, Luffy's not being able to do much. So now it's just up to the dog. Then, Beast Tamer Moji has a lion. Oh, also, I'm gonna tell a quick backstory of Shushu the dog. Basically, the dog guards the pet shop. When the owner recently passed away, he still guards the pet shop to this day. So yeah. And then the Beast Tamer Moji's like, "Oh, lion, do you want a snack?" And then the lion, Shushu tries to bite the Beast Tamer Moji to try to keep him from opening the shop, but it doesn't work. And the lion takes all the food while the shop is set ablaze. Pretty sad, huh? But it's fine, because Luffy's just back here to kick the Beast Tamer's butt. He grabs him and swings his lion into the ground, and then punches him into the ground. And then returns the last bag of dog food that wasn't destroyed in the fire. But hey, at least he's got that. Pretty sad, though. But we must move on. Oh, also, the building Zoro was in got destroyed by another buggy ball. So, pretty rude awakening there for him. But now Luffy's out of his cage, and Zoro's kind of rested, but Buggy's kind of angry that Luffy beat up Beast Tamer Moji. And then Zoro uses the Buggy cannon to light and destroy Buggy. Oh yeah. And then Buggy launches a Buggy ball at Luffy, but he uses another Gum Gum technique, Gum Gum Balloon, and it bounces back and destroys Buggy. And then another one of Buggy's workers, Cabbagey, uses the lion, Beast Tamer Moji's lion, as a shield. And then Cabbagey decides to take on Zoro. Zoro has some trouble during this fight because Cabbagey keeps stabbing his wound. which I consider to be fighting dirty. But he doesn't care. So eventually Zoro's like, you know what? If I get defeated by the likes of you, I'll never become the world's greatest swordsman. And then Kabuji uses a technique where he like flies up and then comes down, and Buggy holds him down so he can stab Zoro. But Luffy's like, Buggy, I'm not gonna let you do this. This is their fight. And he steps on Buggy's hand. Uh, Luckily, Zoro's able to dodge that. But then Kabuji comes forth again, planning to stab his wound again. But this time, it's different. Zoro uses a move called Onigiri, and he slices right through Kabuji, as you can see in this picture. He's slicing right through him. Then, this is the final picture. This is of Buggy. In this picture, he doesn't seem happy because Nami stole the treasure from the treasury, and Buggy's like, I'm gonna take the treasure back, but Luffy then kicks him. He then kicks him in the crotch. So he's like, ah! And then the fight officially starts between Buggy and Luffy. But this time, unlike Luffy's past two fights, I should say. This time, he's actually gotten an injury. Luffy got his face cut, but he's more worried about the hat Shanks gave him. Luffy gets incredibly angry, and then Buggy sends some knives at him again, but this time it pierces right through the hat. And then Buggy takes the hat and steps on it. But Buggy knows this is Shanks' hat, so that's why he's destroying it. Quick flash, time for another backstory. This time it's Buggy's backstory. Once he was on a pirate ship with Shanks. They looted a boat, and Buggy found a devil fruit and a treasure map. Buggy planned to get rich by selling the devil fruit and making his own things. So he faked eating the devil fruit with the fake devil fruit, so he could sell it, because you can sell that for a lot of money. But when Buggy was about to initiate his plan of selling the devil fruit and finding the treasure with the treasure map, Shanks comes by and Buggy has to hide it in his mouth, which is a pretty dumb idea. Hide it elsewhere. But Shanks sticks around for a while, and Buggy just can't take it anymore, and he accidentally swallows it and drops the treasure map in the ocean. Buggy dives for it, but I might have said this in a past video, devil fruit users can't swim. So this ends up pretty bad for him, so Shanks has to rescue him. Anyways, that's the story. I still don't get why Buggy hates him. Shanks saved him. He did cost him a fortune, but Buggy was planning to sell the devil fruit they all found. Okay, back to the present. So Luffy's angry that Buggy stabbed his hat. So Luffy goes full force on him and beats him up, and eventually resulting in Luffy launching him into the sky, just like he did with Alvida. And this time, Luffy and Nami come up with a compromise. Not I'm gonna join the crew, but they create a compromise, like a common goal, because Nami wants to find 100 million berries for some weird reason, and Luffy wants to become king of the pirates. So they come up with a compromise. They leave, and that is the end of Orangetown arc.